Welcome to the Openly Honest Podcast, where the truth may not set you free,
but it's damn sure will keep you openly honest. I'm John.
I'm Jason Terrell.
Let's keep it openly honest, baby. All right, today's topic, we're going to be talking about growing up without a father. It's a pretty serious topic for both of us. We both grew up without a father in some form, fashion. So, yeah, let's get into it. Jason, you want to give your story?
Oh, well, pretty much, me and my dad, we was like best friends. We was always together when he was out of prison. He was in and out of prison a lot of time. But when he was out, we was big chilling. He was teaching me stuff, basketball, baseball, street stuff I shouldn't have learned. Everything you think of, how to be a player, he taught me it all. But he was in prison most of the time, so most of the time it was like...
You got gaps, huh?
Yeah, it's gaps. It was like, but we like wrote every day. When he could get to the phone, call almost every day, wrote every day. So even though he was gone 2-3 years at a time each time, yeah, because it was like 2-3 years, 4 years. It was like a little more each time, but he held it down, though, for the most part, as much as he could. But it still messed me up, him being gone in different aspects with the times he did go to prison. Then he got hooked on drugs, and I really didn't know until later. And that caused him being gone a lot too, but it is what it is. It was good and bad from it all.
Yeah, but I understand where you're coming from because my dad was in and out of jail too, but I never was raised by my father. I was raised by my grandmother and my aunt, and my father was around, but I don't have any memories of my father, even though I see my father maybe once or twice every couple months, and he was around and he had opportunities to, spend time with us, but he just didn't. He chose not to step up and be, the father. But I really, throughout life, it didn't bother me.
Right. Throughout
life, like growing up in high school, I really didn't feel that void until I got older. Right. Until I got out of high school and I started doing my own thing and realizing, stuff here and there that I probably should have learned from a father. And now it probably irks me more now than it does when I was a child. Like, I realize a lot of stuff, and I have some resentment toward him now. But
right.
You
ever talk to him?
No, I don't talk to him at all.
Like ever in life, have you ever talked?
No, yeah, I talked to him plenty.
When he first disappeared?
The first disappearance, or the first we ain't messing with each other.
Yeah.
My wedding.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed. At that point in my life, I was kind of skeptical on him. I wasn't really okay, I ain't really, I ain't messing with him. Right. If he talk, we talk. If we don't, we don't. I'm cool with both ways.
Because was he going for a period of time before that, or he just?
No, it was in and out, in and out.
Okay,
but he never really, how you said you had that effort where your dad put in effort to spend time with you.
Right.
That effort was never there for me.
Oh, damn.
So when I see him, we'll talk. He'll come over to my grandma's house, or he'll be wherever he is, and then we'll talk and stuff like that.
Right.
But never let's hang out or let's do this. Even as a grown man, it never, that opportunity was never there.
Take you for a drink when you're 25.
Never. But that opportunity to where it was I'm not messing with him. I see how he is now, and I'm not messing with him. Was our wedding, because my grandmother was you need to invite him. He's your father. And I'm like, okay, I respect that. I invite my father. And I was excited. You can ask me, I was excited for my father to come to my wedding.
Right.
But I talked to him, and he was like, okay, send me the information. I sent him the wedding invitation through the mail and stuff, and he got it and everything. I talked to him. And when they came up, he wasn't nowhere to be found. Yeah. And I'm all okay. It bothered me that he wasn't there. But just like everything else, I'm F it, forget it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. And that was started more of a rocky relationship with him from that point.
Right.
So, but what about you? What did the first time you realized, man, my dad is not around?
Oh, the first time I really realized it, I think I was when it really affected me, I probably was 15 maybe.
Okay, so you right in that prime
Yeah.
That like I'm thinking I'm grown.
Yeah, we had. When I say we, I was staying with my godparents
Okay.
and my cousins. And we had gotten in a fight with some people around the corner, me and my cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So we knuckling up, and their dad come out tripping. So we go back to the house to get all our family, get my goddad and all them. They like, man, why y'all go over there messing with them people? We like, but you know, they ain't no punks, but they know we at that time we troublesome, you know.
Yeah.
They like, what did y'all even go over there for? I'm tripping. I'm like, man, if my dad was here, he wouldn't ask no questions. He would have went over there and knocked the whole house out. I'm mad at everybody. That's the first time I realized like it was really affecting me. And then maybe one of the time before that, like I was staying with some family and I started feeling like I kept seeing my cousins with their parents and my friends with their parents, and I was like,
I know that feeling.
And my dad was like, at that time, he was heavily on drugs. He 5 blocks over. Like I was on 8th Ave in Hyde Park in LA. He was on Bryanhurst in Hard Park, like 4 or 5 blocks over. Like I said, F it. He's gonna get his life together. I would walk down the street crying, like I'm bailing everybody. What's up, bro? What's up? I'm ignoring everybody. I won't talk to nobody.
Yeah.
I see him on the porch with his crack pipe. Hey, get up! Like he's like, yo, what you doing?
How old was you?
14, 15.
Oh, okay.
Maybe between 14 and 16, somewhere in that age. Because he never did drugs before me. He hurried up, stashed his stuff. I don't care at that point. I'm just like, I just want you to get your life together.
Yeah.
I'm like, get up, man. I'm crying. I'm like, man, why we just can't have a house together? Why we can do it on our own? And we don't need nobody. And I ain't got to keep staying with everybody. He started bawling.
You could have made me ball. Boy, look here.
He started bawling like, man, I'm sorry, son. And we started walking. He's like, we're going to get it together. Me and you, So we started working to get, because he was on Social Security his whole life. We started working to get his check back. Going 3 days later, he went to jail.
Jesus Lord. There was a moment for you to be like, okay, Dad, look, I'm sitting here, I'm pouring out to you.
Right.
And I'm sitting here, I know I understand you're on these drugs and you're in our jail, but I want you.
Right.
I don't want none of this stuff. I just want time with you.
Right.
You had that moment, and he got up and said, you know what, let's do it. But the complication in his life caught back up to him, was like, okay, we got to take you away again.
Right.
So
I never understood it, because he had apartments, girlfriends that he lived with. They had kids. Like, me and their kids are still tight to this day. They're my stepbrothers and sisters to this day. He never let me live there. I came over every weekend. He would let me come over every weekend. But he always told me, I can never trust a female that's not your mom. Because my mom died when I was born.
Okay.
He was like, I can never trust a female that's not your mom. That's why I can't bring you here to live with me. Because I don't trust none of these women. Every time you get a new girlfriend, I'll be over there every weekend, PlayStation, all that.
Only when he there,
Until he go to jail. And then after that, MIA again. But, yeah, other than that, though, that's when it really affected me, though. For the most part, around those ages.
John, you mentioned that the wedding is when you kind of realized that, you know, your dad, whatever you felt with your dad. But I remember when you was dancing with Gran and you was crying.
Ah, man, come on. I'm trying to cry right now, man.
Can you kind of elaborate on what she said? Not like to the details of people.
No. If y'all know me, people that know me that's grown up with, that, you know, went to school with me, they know how important my grandmother is to me. She's gonna be 85. Man, if she's not gonna be 85, she see this, she's gonna be mad. I think she's gonna be 85 in August. So I've grown up with my grandmother my whole life. My grandmother raised me from birth. Me and my 2 younger brothers and cousins and everybody in my family. She was raised by my grandmother in some form or fashion. Yeah. And seeing that moment, being in that moment of where this is like a big transition for me, like marriage, like you married, you got kids, right. Like, you know, marriage is like, some people think it's just, okay, it's a certificate and a ring. It's not. It's like
deeper than that.
It's way deeper than that. It's a transformation to where, okay, you can't be the same man or boy. You can't. First of all, you can't be a boy no more. Period. You gotta be a whole new person and transition yourself to not care about just yourself anymore. Yeah. So when I had that moment of dancing with her, I broke down because I was appreciative. Like, my grandmother helped me shape the man I am today. Right. Because I didn't have a father figure in a way. Like, I have my uncles. And I have a lot of older cousins that helped shape me in some form or fashion, but the main sculpture was from her and my aunt. And I broke down. I was saying, thank you. And she's like, I'm proud of you. Right.
Take your time, bro.
So I'm proud of you. And hearing those words,
Right. Take your time, bro.
hearing them words are something you want to hear from somebody that means something to you. You know.
Right.
And I never got to hear those words from like my mother or my father because because my mother didn't raise me. My mother was on drugs a lot.
Right.
And I have two younger brothers. My two full younger brothers are they're mentally challenged because of that. Because
Right.
of she was using drugs when she was pregnant with them.
Right.
Thank God it it didn't affect me in any sort. If you
Right.
ask my auntie, she said it do. But it don't affect me. I can do everything and
Right.
think clearly and stuff, but they can't. So not having my mother in my life and my father in life and not hearing those words and not being able to live with them and like you said, why like you said you told your dad, like, man, I want to be able to live with you. Right. I used to think all the time, man, I have friends that have both parents in their life, and I used to go home and wish, like when I was a kid, like, I wish that my mom had her life together. I wish my dad had her life together. I wish they were married. I wish I lived with them and we had our own place and stuff. But that wasn't the case.
Right.
And as I got older, I started to appreciate my grandmother and my aunt more because they sacrificed their own living situations and their own personal life, especially my aunt.
Right.
Their own personal life with their kids and stuff to help me and my brothers.
Right. Right.
So during that moment, during my wedding, when I was crying with my grandmother auntie, I thought all those things and stuff. So that's why it was. I wanted my father there because he's my dad, man. Like I still love. Like to this day, I love him. It's my father. He helped create me.
Right.
I can't sit here and say I don't like this man or I hate this man. I would never say that.
Right.
I have my own personal opinions about who he is.
Right.
And I may not, agree with that. But like the Bible says, honor your mother and father no matter what they do.
Right.
And I do honor my mother and father, but I just don't, I can't, like, in our terms, I can't mess with them like that.
Feed them from alone handles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So,
Nah, I get
that was a hard, part in my life during that period. So I didn't mean to cry, y'all. It's just when we talk about family, we talk about
many nights.
we talk about really serious things that we go through in life when it comes to parents and growing up fatherless and in some form or fashion, and it affects us. Even as grown men, it affects us.
Real talk.
So
because I was raised the same way you was by my grandmother and my aunt. I thought my aunt was my mom until I got older.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once I got to that age and my grandmother passed, I knew I'm like my dad finna get it together. Like he finna get it. My grandma gone. I'm still because shout out to my uncles because they helped too. When my dad was in the hole and couldn't call and couldn't write, my uncles they made sure I knew what a man was supposed to do: take care of business, go to school. The grades better not be messing up. All right, when your daddy get home, we tell him my dad, no matter on drugs, not there. He didn't play. Like I better have straight A's. I get a B tripping.
So you really had a male figure. Of some sort in your life, like your uncle played a pivotal part in your life.
That's when I got like 14. That's when they was really solidified there because I moved back to LA again. And I was with all my uncles. Before it was just my grandma, my grandfather, and my other uncle, but he was like my older brother and he had his baby mama and a kid. We was all living in one house. So it was like, he taught me how to fight, make sure I knew how to protect myself. But other than that, he was like, it wasn't no like grown man teaching because he was still growing up. He was 18, 19.
He was still a kid in some form himself.
Exactly.
So
and he didn't have his dad. He just had his stepdad and my grandfather that was there.
Yeah.
So it was kind of what can he teach me when nobody taught him? You know what I mean? But yeah, my aunt, my grandma, they did what they could. Then I thought he was gonna get it together. After that, it was like nope. I was like, I went with my aunt, my mom, whatever you want to call her, that raised me for a while. And then when me and her bumped heads, I had a smart mouth. Got sit back with my uncles.
Yeah.
Then got a smart mouth and did some crazy stuff. Went to Lancaster with my godparents where I had the fight I was talking about earlier. After that, I went to Florida. I went to Florida for 3 months. I ain't had no mail, nothing out there.
You went to Florida?
I lived in Florida, bro.
I didn't know that.
Jacksonville, Florida, bro. I lived out there with my sister and her mom.
Oh, wow.
Man, I had no male figure. All the boys that was around, I was like their leader.
So what did you, like, how old was you when you went?
16, 15,
What did you
16
do?
I went to school. I worked at Wendy's. I sold
Oh,
drugs. I was selling Xanax bars out the Wendy's drive-thru.
Driving another bag, huh?
Yeah, it was me, my sister, and her mom. It was like they were.
You didn't know no better. You doing what you gotta do.
I was trying to figure it out. Like, man, I was working 2 days a week at Wendy's. I'm like, man, we can't all eat all this.
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, like my sister, she make a few more dollars than me. She had a couple better position. You know, she's like a lead.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, at the end of the day, she had a baby. I gotta help watch her baby when she got to go to work.
So you're actually at a young age.
I'm the man of their house.
You're the man of the house, and you're trying to provide
right for them.
for them.
Like they both work, we all work, but they struggling. So I'm like, what can I do to add more? You know
So what do you think? What do you think gave you that mindset to think like that?
Well, I always seen my uncles do everything on their own. You know.
Okay.
You know, I've seen all the male figures that was around me. Even if I was seeing them once a year, I seen they had their own car. They had money. They was the head of their household. They was in charge. Everybody moved like a boss. So it was like, okay, as a man, that's what you're supposed to do. Like those few times I grasped on to things, like when I see him, even if I only see it once in my life, I would grasp on to that, like, okay, that's what a man's supposed to be. And sometimes it was the wrong thing. Cause I was
But that's what you're seeing.
exactly. Yeah. That's what forms dysfunction. When you see the wrong thing and you've grown up seeing it, and you assume that's what a man does.
Exactly.
And then those habits are hard to break. But anyways, left Florida because I caught a case out there, and went back to LA, and it was like back with my uncle. Left him with my aunt, and it was like me and her son was the man of the house. And then after that, I just was bouncing around, so I figured it out on my own. And around the time I figured it out, my dad figured it out.
Wow.
We moved just 20 minutes away from each other. I stayed in Kern County. He lived in Lancaster. I used to drive 20 minutes every day, take my daughter over there, play with him. We barbecue in the backyard.
So you had a time period
where he was just gone.
But you said he got it together, right?
Yeah.
So he was there.
The last 3 years of his life.
So, oh wow, wait. So the last 3 years of his life is probably maybe your memorable moments.
My most memorable moments
with him.
Yeah, I was with him every day. Me,
How old was you?
my daughter. I was 20, between 21 and 24. Wow. Yeah, from 21 to 24. That's when we was like together every day, chilling, doing the most. You know what I mean?
So during that time period, what did you learn from him? Like, what are some of the key during that 3 year period? What are some of the key moments you learned from him? Because you're 21, 24 during that bracket. You already got your own mindset in a way.
Right.
You already, I ain't gonna say stuck in your ways, but you already know some way of getting some money. You already got some way of, of the way you move. You had a baby. You had Elijah.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were a father already.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are some of the things he taught you in those three forms, or you learned from him? Negative and positive, because I'm sure it's both.
Honestly, this is the funny part. I was teaching him.
Oh,
like he was telling me all the time, like, I'm proud of you. Like I ain't never, like I was making like $2,000 a month at a job. He thought that was the biggest thing ever because he's been on Social Security his whole life and selling drugs. So he's like, bruh, like you make $2,000.
You doing better than I ever
already. Yeah, he's like, I can't believe you doing this. Like this is bananas. And then back when he did teach me during that time, he told me why he wasn't there as much and what messed him up mentally to why he couldn't be there. I didn't know. Well, I knew my mom died when I was born. That messed him up. She was 17. That threw him for a loop. Like he already lost his mind. His brother and him, they share the same birthday. They're a year apart. Next year, same month, November, he get killed. Get shot in the heart. Then right after that, his best friend died in his arms after getting shot.
So 3 years in a row, he loses his wife, his fiance, his brother, and his best friend. So three most
important people to him. Yeah. So he lost it after that. So he told me it was hard for him to bounce back from that. That's when he got on drugs. He told me. I was like, bro, I was like 2. I didn't even know you was on drugs. He's like, he would never let me show it. Never showed it around me.
You know what? When I like hearing this, it's like you got that opportunity to hear why your father did wrong. A lot of people don't hear that.
Yeah.
A lot of dudes be
Yeah.
wanting to hear that.
And they never get the explanation.
Like whether it's
it could be a bullcrap answer.
exactly
Just-
whether
just
it's
want an answer.
BS
Yeah.
or whether it's the doggone truth and it's gonna might hurt you, they still got to hear it.
Yeah.
And a lot of dudes to be like, they daddy gone, or they don't mess with their dad, or they dad don't want to mess with them, and they will not get that explanation.
And you know the other thing he told me that I always wondered. He said, "Yeah, I never wanted to have you around there, especially when I made a mistake before." I'm like, "What mistake?" When I was 10, I remember he took me to these people's house. I was 10 or 11, something like that. He took me to these people's house. I'm watching Independence Day in the living room. I'm like, "Ooh, Will Smith, aliens." The people giving me candy, you feel me? They make me play it. I'm eating, we chilling.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Where he go?" Like 10 minutes later, he come back. He's like, "All right, come on, son." I'm like, "All right." We walk into the. He's like, "I took you to the crack spot." He was like, "I was in there getting high." I never knew. That's the first and only. He said that was the first and only time he ever did drugs around me, and then he never did it again after that. Never. He never took me around it again after
That
that.
is crazy.
I never knew until the second before last year of his life. That's when he told me about that.
So you really learned about a lot about his life
Yeah, it's time.
within his 3 years of the last 3 years of his own life.
Exactly.
That's spiteful.
And then
That
the
is
whole
crazy.
part is though, because we moved to Moreno Valley. He was in Palmdale, Lancaster. He was in Lancaster, and he kept saying like, "Yeah, man, I need to come out there. I need to come out there. I need to come out there. Like, find me a place out there." I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, I'm gonna move you out here." Me and my wife, we was talking about moving him in with us and getting a house and like he get a room. He's like, "Yeah, I just need you to take care of me," because he was getting sick, heart problems. So after that, I went over there or whatever, and then I went and checked on him because he had got to the hospital. I came back home, then he went on ICU. He stopped breathing. He was on intensive care. Went back, he got off. So I came back out here and he got better for me. And he like, "Yeah." I'm like, "All right, Dad, no, for real." Mind you, a whole year going by. I'm telling him, "I'm move you out here and find you a place." I'm procrastinating. At this time, I'm turning up because like I didn't got to an age where into a place in life where I'm making money, like the best money I made in my life, and I'm seeing things and meeting people that I never thought would do. I'm clubbing, I'm going out, I'm drinking more. I'm like, man, like I didn't have nobody to teach me that wasn't
the right
because
thing. to
I've
be
never
doing.
seen no male influence in my life do that. Club, turn up, and I start meeting these people and I start gravitating to that. Like, oh, I never seen
Like
men
this
do
is good. It feels good.
It feels good.
So you just keep gravitating toward
And
it.
it kept taking my attention off of him. And then one day he called me. I was at work. I missed the call. He left me a voicemail, out of breath, like dang near crying. And he was like, "I was trying to see what size my grandbaby wear." I keep trying to call him back. The same day, I get in the office. His roommate called me, like, "Yeah, your dad went to the hospital. He had a heart attack, something with his heart. He couldn't breathe. They took him to the hospital. He in the intensive care unit. The machine breathing for him." I'm like, "Oh snap!" So I smash out there, and they like, he probably ain't gonna make it through the night. Heart failure at 44 years old. So I sat with him all night. It was funny how things worked though, because our favorite team always been the Packers. I sat there with him, and it was a Thursday night, my birthday, the night before my birthday. It was October 1st, my birthday October 2nd. We watched the Packer game. I'm sitting there watching them with him, telling them everything that's going on the whole game. We blew the Minnesota Vikings out that night, won. And then I leave like 1, 2 in the morning. My family come. "Yeah, go get some rest." I go get some rest. I come back. The people like, "Yeah, we're gonna have to like you're gonna have to make a decision." I'm the oldest kid. Like I'm the only boy. I'm the second oldest, but my sister's in Florida.
Yeah, so you have to make the decision.
Yeah, so I'm sitting there like I ain't pulling the plug. They're like, "Son, he's gone already. Like literally gone.
Yeah.
Like he's not here." And I don't know. I left and to get something to eat to think about it. And I came back, and they was taking the machine apart, and I flipped out. I'm like, "What the hell is y'all doing? No, we weren't supposed to go." Yeah, I start kicking stuff over there. Like, no, he went on his own. Like, the machine wouldn't even keep him alive no more. Like, it wouldn't even breathe for him no more. He was so gone. I flipped out, and that was like the worst thing that could have happened to me at that time.
Yeah.
Because all I could think about
At any time.
yeah, but the fact that I was that whole year, "I'm gonna get you out here, Dad. I'm gonna get you out here, Dad. I'm gonna take it." I blamed myself so long. And I went so hard into depression and drinking after that because I kept thinking, damn, I could have had that whole year with him here at least. You know what I mean? Like, he could have been with me. At least we could have had some more memories. I done moved 100 miles away, and now we missed out on the last year after we done had 2 years of just being down the street from each other. Tore me up. I was like,
Dang.
that was like the worst thing ever, bro. Like, I got my heart ripped out at that point. That killed me.
What affected you guys the most about your fathers not being in your lives?
What affected you the most, my brother? Ooh, I'm gonna let you go first on this one.
Damn, I don't want to go first.
Affected you the most.
What affected me? That is a great question. I really got to think.
I'll go first.
Yeah, go.
The thing that affected me was normality. I never knew what it was like to have something that was normal, like I seen on TV, like a mom, a dad, or even if it's a single parent household, just being in a house with a parent that birthed you or created you. That normality of having that's what affected me. I'm like, so now that I'm married, I'm still learning how it's supposed to go. I never had him to teach me because I never lived with him.
I have to agree with him, but I agree with the part where he said I didn't know what it felt like to be having a normal household either.
Right.
But I seen what it looks like
yeah.
because my aunt and my uncle they I lived with them. We all lived in the same household, so I seen a father figure and I seen a mother figure.
Right.
Because they had children, which is my cousins, and I seen them take care of them. I seen them, discipline them. I seen all that in the form of a household,
right.
But I never seen it just my house. Like, these are my brothers and sisters. This is my mom and dad. I didn't see that.
That's what I mean about that normality, like your mom and dad. Because I had my uncles and aunts and stuff. They was there too, but everything was dysfunctional. So I never seen.
Okay.
My grandparents, we rented a house that was considered condemned. No lights, no toilet, no running water.
Jesus.
Rats running everywhere, pitch black all the time. Like that was the normal to me. Then we had a house where we shared a bedroom, like where we was renting a room at a lady house. Then we had times where we had houses.
So you were evolving in some form, and
we was going down.
Oh, so you started
in a 5-bedroom with like 5 acres of land. Then went to another house that was like a 4-bedroom. Then went to another house that was like a 4-bedroom.
So it kept going down.
Then we went to a room, a hotel room for a while with all of us. Me, my grandma, my grandpa, my uncle, his girl, they baby. Then we went to a 2 rooms. That was like, it was really like one room, but it was connected by a door. So then after that, we went to the abandoned house. Then after that, that's when I tapped out. I gave up. I gotta go. Like, this is getting ridiculous. So I never seen like normal where it's not chaos. Like with my uncle and my aunt, when I stayed with them, they got money. They doing great for themselves. Yeah. So I was seeing normalness, but you see people fight so much that's when you really learn. Money really don't bring happiness because they got everything you could think of, and they constantly fight. So I'm just like, this can't be normal. And I started feeling it is. That's why I said I never had that normality of like just seeing happy family, happy everything, kids go to school. How was basketball practice? Like none of that.
I can, man,
like,
you know,
like,
now that you say that, I think what affected me what affected me the most about not having, I didn't have a male opinion on anything I did. Because unless it was because my uncle is quiet. My uncle doesn't really say much.
Right.
He goes to work. I probably got my work ethic from him because I never heard this man complain about work. Ever. I know my auntie probably have, but I never heard him complain about work. I never heard him, like even when I seen him tired or his body hurt, see him get up and do what he had to do.
Right.
But when it came to things that I did or things that I accomplished or didn't accomplish, I never had a male opinion about it.
Dang, that's deep, bro.
So it was always my grandmother's opinion. It was my aunt's opinion. I had male opinions on cousins, but they were young just like me. Well, I was younger, way younger. Like my older cousin is what? I'm 28. Is he 40 now? He got about 10 good years on me.
Right.
So he was probably the eldest cousin that had an opinion, but I didn't grow up with him. He grew up with his brothers and mother and father and stuff like that.
Right.
Or his stepfather and stuff like that. But I never had a male opinion on the things I did on a normal basis.
And what age was that where you were seeking that opinion?
When I seeked it, probably high school.
High school.
Because elementary, I'm a kid. I'm rolling around. I'm having fun.
That's what I was just thinking about because I was like, I ain't either. And then I was like, well, high school I did.
But you know what? Middle school maybe. Because I would say that's the first time when girls start coming around. Where I'm like, man, like I start to notice girls. Like elementary, you just, okay, she cute. I like her. Or she talks to me and I like her.
Middle school, you like them from.
You middle school, hey, what's up? You
notice like the whole body and all
exactly. You notice the whole body. You notice the frame. You start to realize of what you like.
Exactly.
And I never had I never had that talk. I never had the birds of the bee talk. I know a lot of people didn't, but I never had. Like I didn't know the sexual parts of girls.
I didn't even know that story. So.
I learned that from friends in middle school and high school of learning that stuff.
No, for real.
So
I learned from my friends in middle school.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I never had a male's opinion on life in general until I got out of high school and started meeting other men that I worked with or that I went to church with and stuff like that.
Right.
That's how I got to know other people, but it wasn't always there. It was only there when I was there.
Right.
So that probably affected me most of not getting a male's opinion to help maybe shape my own opinion or my own mindset.
Right.
It was shaped from my grandmother saying what is right and what's wrong, or my cousins beat me up and saying what's right and what's wrong. That's how my mindset was shaped. It wasn't shaped from my father being there and telling me what's right and wrong.
Right.
So
no, I feel that. Nah, it's funny though, the middle school thing. Cause my friend came to the door one day. Mind you, this is all my family ever told me. Nobody told me about sex, not anything. You better make sure you use a condom.
That's it. That's it.
Okay, what is that?
Yeah,
okay.
How I use it.
One day the homie come to the door. The homies that taught me everything now.
Yeah.
Then one day the homie come to the door. Hey bro, you got a condom? I'm like, what kind? You want a regular one? You want a Trojan? You want some bullcrap kind? You want the flavor kind? They shit finna give you some woo up. He said, what? It's like he's thinking like, bro, I just taught you how you know all this. And then my family heard from upstairs and they start calling my uncle. It's like, I think y'all need to have a talk with him. He got chocolate condoms. He got strawberry. He got a box full. I don't know what's going on. Girls keep calling the house. Like it was bananas, but they still, even after my aunt called them, like, hey, they still like, they was like, well, you got condoms, so you know what he doing.
And you know when I hear that right there, your homies instill confidence in you.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
You know, I had homies and stuff, but it was like we from California, but you from LA, I'm from Long Beach. We two different people.
Right.
Like it's different mindsets of how we grew up.
Right.
So I didn't have them homies to where we talk about girls and butts and all that.
Right.
But confidence of going to talk to a girl, I didn't have that.
Yeah.
Like throughout my life, I didn't get girls till after high school. I liked girls in high school. I was friends with girls I liked in high school, but never had the confidence to be like, you know what, let me go talk to her.
Right.
And game her up. I didn't have no game. Game was not nowhere, and that's part. And I think that is part of not having a father as well.
He get you to school
because he school you on okay, this is how you talk to a girl, this is how you treat a girl, and I know it goes both ways. Some fathers, teach their son to treat girls this way,
right.
Whether it's negative or positive, or get a girl this way, whether it's a negative positive form of doing that,
right.
But as just like everything else, I got my form of how to treat a girl from my grandmother. Like she told me, like I got it more in high school, like during my junior and senior year, to where it's like treat a girl with respect, treat a girl nice, don't disrespect her. When you go out with her, pay for it. You know what I mean? Like I got all that. I
got the complete opposite.
See, that's the thing.
You make her pay for everything.
I didn't none of that.
This is what they told me. If you got one girl that's too close to having zero.
Wow.
That's what they told me. Bro, when I was I didn't have no game, no nothing. 13, I started seeing how my dad was moving around.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, he always got a different girlfriend, a different apartment, and I'm like, okay, that's the key.
Yeah.
Getting all these girls. So I started talking to girls. It ain't working out. I'm like, bro, it ain't working out. Like, it's not going well. I finally had that conversation with my dad. he started schooling me, giving me the school. Then my uncles, they started putting their 2 cents in. I'm like, okay.
So you learning from multiple different men,
Multiple different
of what to do, and they got their own opinion about it.
Because for the longest, like I used to like girls in like middle school before I turned 13, like 7th grade. I'd try to talk to girls. Bruh, by the time I got one girl phone number, I was so excited. I would literally call her all day, every day, to where they had their sisters telling them, hey, she's not here. Like they telling me she's not even there because the girl don't want to talk to me. Girl see me in school, she taking off. I was so happy to have a girl. I'll tell my dad when I finally see him, he's like, man, you can't be older like that. Like, what's wrong with you?
Right? Because I can relate to that. Because when I had girls, I had girls that I liked, and I got their number, I was the same way. Like middle school, I remember I got one girl number at the end of 8th grade, and I liked her, and I'm on. Like that is a word. I really liked her.
I'll put over on the podcast. We say it's real. It's real.
I really liked her, and I blew her up. And one time she's like, "You gotta stop calling me so much." And I'm thinking, okay, I like you. You like me. What's the problem? And I didn't have that, dog. You cannot bug a girl like that. You have to, let her breathe. And I didn't understand that. But now as I got older and I started to see and got told off a couple times, then I understood. Y'all might hear my daughter. She up and about doing her thing.
I think we.
So don't mind the noise. I'm sorry. But yeah. So that's.
It's funny because I ain't gonna say her name, but I used to blow this one girl up. Like she'd be like, I'll call you back in 5 minutes. 10 minutes later, I'll call her like, it's been 10 minutes. Like you didn't see the clock or something. Did you forget?
John used to do that.
Next question. I ain't gonna embarrass myself on this thing.
Oh, John.
Next question.
All right. Being the man that you are now, if you could go back and have your father in your life like regularly, physically every day, would you?
No.
That's funny. I was going to say the same thing.
No. I'll start. I'll lead this one. No, because
I know what you're going to say.
The way my life is, if I go back and I change all that, most likely all the things I have now isn't there.
You're not, exactly. Yep.
All the things, my daughter is not here. My wife is not here.
Yep.
The morals that's been installed in me from my grandmother and my aunt and my cousins and the things I've seen from other men that I've known, they aren't there. And I feel like the morals I've installed that's been installed in me are respectable morals. So if my dad was there and knowing who my dad is, so a lot of the morals would be completely different. So I have to say no. I have to say no.
I would say no because, like you said, I would not be the same person.
Yeah.
For one, the way I look at it, my dad didn't have no male to teach him how to be a man.
Mm-hmm.
They was helping take care of my grandmother, selling drugs and being in the street because she didn't have nothing, and different dads was coming because most of my uncles got different dads. You know what I mean? It'd be like 2 or 3 with the same dad, 1 or 2, because my grandma had 8 kids.
Ooh,
7 boys and 1 girl.
Wow.
Yeah, it was deep.
Yeah.
So he would have been teaching me everything he was doing in the streets, selling drugs. Which some of it he did teach me some of the stuff, but having that every day, all day, being implemented in you, I would have never got married. I'd probably be in prison. I'd probably been selling drugs still. I probably would have been super gang banging still. Like it would have just been a whole different person here.
That whole road would have been completely different. Like right. you think your life. Like I know you. I'm like knowing your story. I know you've been through so much.
Right.
But imagine, like you just said, like you'd have been in jail. You'd have been so. Like imagine how terrible that would have extended.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's funny because my dad told me so many times what to do if I went to jail, just getting me prepared, where to go, where to tell him you can, who to talk to at this dorm, because this person ain't never going out. This is the shot caller if you ever go to this prison. Like he taught me so much, and I never went to jail. Like I didn't got caught on the train with stuff. Like me and my cousin Fernell, he didn't give the police the wrong name, and while he on probation, like they ain't gonna fingerprint you. So now we both caught up in the jam. They took the stuff, let us go. Like another time I had stuff, they took it and let me go. Like it's every time I be sitting there like God doing something for a reason because I ain't going to jail. But my dad keep telling me like this what you do, this what you do. And I be sitting there like, bruh, I would have really had that mind state if I ever had a son,
And
to put in him, this is what you do if you go to jail. This is what you do if you go to jail.
Like
You know what I mean?
it's like you setting them up.
It's setting them up
you
to
said
go.
it, exactly, and it's crazy because I've never had that talk. Because this is, and y'all have to realize this is why I wanted Jason as my co-host, because we right now we are completely two different. Like we have been raised completely. Like our lives are completely different. He sold drugs. He's been gangbanging. He's had been to jail, but probably almost went. All of that I have none. I've never been to jail. I've only been pulled over twice in my life. Thank God, 3 times. My wife had to remind me 3.
I got pulled over 3 times in
probably one day.
Yeah. Bro, that's crazy.
So it's like what you've been like the way you are raised is so important.
Right.
And having that father in your life is so important.
Yeah.
But not having it in your life, you realize like, man, that may have been a good thing.
Exactly.
Because of the way it's been shaped.
That just shows you like God makes no
I was just
mistakes.
gonna say that's
Yes,
the God. You never know.
It's
like
that's so crazy.
It brings so much clarity when you get older.
Absolutely.
You start realizing
because
like,
you don't ever understand. You might think you understand as a young teen or whatever. And when you turn 18, you think you know everything. You think you know how to weigh the road of shape.
at 18.
Man, you start getting jobs and start to get established and start having kids and start having a girl that you actually care about and get married. Man, that world opened up so dang wide. And it's like, dog, you mess up, that thing gonna swallow you whole.
Man, that's crazy. It's funny that you were saying all that at 18, like you get a job, you get. I wouldn't even think about it.
Like I'm saying, and that's the crazy part is that we have different mindsets when we grow up. But now that we older, it's like we both got wives, we got children.
Now we got the exact same mindset.
Exactly. We know how to provide. We know how to go get it, whether it's one way or another.
Exactly.
But it's just crazy in your mindset.
We talking about what job got better benefits.
Exactly. Like, we talking about benefit packages. Like, oh no, we pay too much for the premium on that one. No, we ain't doing
you
that.
to church this Sunday? No.
How much is that deducted? For real? Like, oh, you going to church Sunday? I gotta work.
I think I'm gonna pick up a shift.
So it's just like going back in time. I wouldn't change nothing. I wouldn't. I appreciate my past, whether it's even the good and the bad.
Right.
The things that I lack, the things that I strive, I appreciate all that now. You know, of course I didn't appreciate it then.
Right.
But I very much appreciate it now because it shaped the man I am today. And I wouldn't change that for the world.
That's facts. I wouldn't change a thing, man. You know what? I might change one thing.
What?
I would want to change the aspect of my father being on drugs.
Okay.
Like, if everything could stay the same and he wasn't on drugs,
At least I think,
and he was just like going through it from losing my mom, his brother, and his best friend, and he never got on drugs, I think I would have took it better.
Okay.
Because the fact that he was on drugs, it wasn't even embarrassing because everybody knew him. Everybody was scared of him. Like, he'd be smoked out with me and knocked the biggest dude in the hood out. Like, nobody messed with him. They knew what was up. Like, the thing of it was, it made me feel like, you better than this. Because I seen him be so strong.
Yeah.
Like, through jail, through everything.
You seen the real man in him.
Exactly. That's
You
what I'm
seen
like.
the real man and the drugs.
How you turn to this?
Yes.
How you turn to
Yes,
this?
yes,
Like,
yes.
That's the only thing I would want to change.
That's deep. That's man.
I seen him. I thought my dad was Superman, bro. He could knock a building over in my eye. Like when he used to be around, if we like finna have a fight or something, I'll fight everybody out here. I know somebody.
I got backup.
He gonna knock everybody out. Like, but man,
that's crazy.
that's the one aspect I'll change.
Okay. So now, do you guys have any resentments towards your father as an adult?
Personally, I do, but it's not from my childhood. But I'm gonna let Jason go first because I might ramble a little bit.
It's funny because I know y'all would think I would say I don't because of me in the story, but I do. Because I never got to live with him. Like me and him on our own. Like even if I would have been a teenager and I had to get a job to help with the bills, I'd have been cool with that. Like I did hold resentment. I still kind of do sometimes. I've been working through it. I've been talking to my therapist about it, like trying to get over that part. Like that's the one thing I never got to live with him. That's the only thing I wanted. Like he should have just. I feel like he could have. All right, let's get a bummy apartment with roaches in the hood.
But
whatever.
I'm trying.
But I'm trying.
Yeah.
You know, I just wanted to live with him one time.
I'm glad you mentioned therapy because a lot of black men are brought up to feel like you shouldn't like.
They say that's white people stuff.
Yeah.
I used to say it too. That's the ignorance in our culture though. Is lame, is weak to get help. To want to be better.
Yeah, to get your emotions out there
Exactly.
and to
But
pour out
it's very
and
much
vent.
needed in our.
Very much needed.
Yeah.
You know,
Very much.
the black man mental state is worse than any other man's
I
mental
bet
state.
it
We
is.
have PTSD bad from police growing up in the hood, just different stuff, being fatherless.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 67% of black males grow up in a single parent household.
It's a chunk.
61% of those are fatherless. Only 8% have a father and the mother is gone.
So y'all 67% that's watching this, we love y'all, man.
Love y'all.
We feel what y'all go through. We've been through it. We're going through it. We with y'all, man. But if you need help, go get therapy.
And don't be scared.
Don't be scared, man. To vent out emotion, it's not a sucker thing, man.
It helps. It
Y'all
really helps.
seen me cry at the beginning of this thing. I cry a lot, especially in church for some odd reason.
My wife
But,
calls me the most emotional thug shit we seen. I'm telling her I ain't thug no more. I'm just emotional now.
But my resentment toward my father is not from my past because I didn't like Jason said he had opportunities to talk to his father. I didn't have a lot of them. I didn't have a lot of opportunities to really, hey man, get it together. I didn't really have them. But as I got older, I did. But my biggest resentment now is the way, because now I'm an adult. I have a family. I can provide for myself and my family. I don't need that anymore. I would like it, but needing it, I don't. That's just how I feel. I don't need it.
You felt that void already.
The void has been filled. Or it maybe have not been filled, but it doesn't need to be filled.
Yeah.
So, but my biggest issue or my biggest resentment right now is that my brothers need that.
Right.
And because they have mental issues and stuff like that, and time is still very important with them.
Right. Yeah.
And I can see it when I come over there and I visit them and I spend time with them. They love it.
Right.
They be so happy.
They be ecstatic about it.
Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
And it's just like, now that I have my own family, that time has been shortened with them.
Right.
So it's like, to my dad, you still have that opportunity to fill that void.
But don't do it for the wrong reason.
And that's what he's doing. And I'm not going to put my business and my family business out there on this podcast. I refuse to do that.
Right.
But it's just like, you're sitting here doing things for the wrong reason, and it hurts to see it. It hurts me because I love my brothers. I have two full brothers, and like I said, they have mental issues. So I know they're never going to be able to provide for themselves and do everything I'm doing. That won't ever happen.
Right.
And to know that and to look at that future-wise, it sucks. But when it comes to putting in time as a father, you're still, even though they're older, they're adults. But that time could still be used, and you refuse to use it in the most positive way you can over money or over what you want to do. That hurts to see. And that is my biggest resentment because it's a better way of doing it and you refuse to do it.
I feel that.
No amount of money add up to the time.
I'm going to let y'all, fathers out there, money is not important, dog. I'm going to sit here and say this right now. One thing I seen my father be is a money hungry man to where money is the only important thing. I'm going to tell y'all right now, money ain't important when it comes to your child, man.
That's funny because I was going to be my next question to you.
Money ain't important. And I told y'all in church, I told you, I told Travis, I told all y'all, money is not important. I had a period, and even Yvette can attest to this with her father. It's like we've grown up and all we want is time.
Yeah.
All we want, and I realized that later in life as an adult, like all I wanted was time. I didn't need toys. I didn't need all this other crap. I didn't need materialistic things. In high school, I didn't need money. I needed time to show me what a man was or how a man should do things.
Right.
Whether he knew how to do that or not.
Right.
Because if he didn't know how to do it, I know what not to do.
Or even if he didn't know how to do it, taking that thing, well, I don't know, son, but let's figure it out.
Exactly. The effort, the trying. So if y'all got kids, if y'all finna have a baby, if whether y'all get along with y'all baby mama or not, find a way.
That part.
Find a way, Zamora, huh?
You know what's funny about that, though? The way that affected me from my dad, see, man, that's a cold twist. I didn't even think about that. I think about how I grew up. My actual living situations, being homeless sometimes, being in a house with no lights, like dirty situations, whatever the situation was, you know what I mean? Like where money could have fixed the problem. I took that into, I don't want my kids to live like that, and I work and I work and I work and all this extra stuff. I work and work and work and just try to get it done and try to get them the life I never had that I lack on the time. Let's go ride a bike because I didn't work overtime, picked up extra shift. I'm too tired to take them outside, too tired to play. And then I see their mom doing that, and I'm sitting there like, what was I thinking? Like, I should have been the one outside doing that, playing with them. Like, I forget them hours. I can't replace it. I'm still learning that as well. Like right now I'm off work. I'm taking this time off work to really get to know my kids more. Like, I'm not saying I don't know my kids, but to really
know them on a level to where
like,
this is what, like, I know you front to back.
Right. Like when I take them outside and they running around, we playing with the ball or something. Now I know who the fastest one is. Yeah. I didn't know it.
You know their personal traits.
Yeah, I can't tell you who was left-handed or right-handed or who ambidextrous.
Damn.
Now I can. You know?
I feel you on that.
Like at first I couldn't. Like now I see one of my kids using both hands writing and stuff. I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that he used both hands.
Yeah.
So now I'm learning more.
Yeah.
So I had to break myself out of that old thing of I want my kids to live how I lived. Even though my dad came, I had PlayStations and stuff. Yeah. But that's short-lived, or it really don't matter because we're in a situation where we ain't got no lights or we finna get evicted. But he's just trying to make me happy in this situation. You know what I mean? So I did that without putting the time in. Like my dad did put the time in when he was around. Yeah. That's where I messed up at.
I tell people all the time, like I said in I think the last episode, or one of the last episodes, like time, you can't get back time. You can make money. You lose money, you can make money back.
Right.
You lose anything, you can get it back in some form or fashion. Yeah. Whether it's people, whether it's materialistic things, time is the only thing on earth that God has given us that you can't get back, that cannot be replaced. So when it comes to your child, give that time. Right. Find a way, whether, like I said, whether your baby mama or your ex-wife or whoever the lady is won't give you that opportunity, find a way to get it. And women stop being so resentful
and keeping them babies
away from their father, whether it's a personal issue between you and him or whether it's something he did in the past. Give that man a chance again. Give that man an opportunity, because every child needs their father, just like every child needs their mother.
And what y'all went through shouldn't even be affecting
it. Should never affect.
Exactly. That's bitter baby mamas.
That's bitter stuff like that. And I'm not saying all baby mamas are bitter, because I know some dudes are deadbeats. So if you do not have a deadbeat father, he's trying, give him that opportunity, man.
Like I always tell John, like, you know, me and John will be together forever. But I'm but if anything ever happened to where we not together, like I would not ever in my life like stop his relationship with Zamora, because she would give resentment towards me.
Exactly.
Yeah. And it's just like, if I would let it to be like, if John decided not to be in her life, let it be because he decided, not because I'm keeping her away from him.
Right.
And vice versa, if it ever was to where she wanted to be a better baby mama, I'm going head over heels. Ain't nothing finna stop me from spending time with my child.
That's one thing I'm scared of.
It's a terrifying thing,
without my kids, I turn into the old person.
Exactly.
So for somebody to do that, it would make me turn, like, I don't care about that no more. So like, if I don't have them, I don't have nothing to lose. So you playing, with your life. Yeah. Like that's why I'm happy my kids' mom not like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, pray to God, she not. I mean, you never know. I mean, from what I know, she not like that.
Janai, look, keep it easy, please.
Please.
But nah, man, it's
I'm gonna have to visit that man. My dad was telling me about him. Go see that man.
Nah, but if y'all have, if you guys have an opportunity to spend with your child, spend time with your child, do so, man. Especially during this quarantine time. We all stuck in the house. Some people are actually working, but if you're not working much, bond with your children. Spend time with your family, man. Like this is a key opportunity to really get to know every single person in your family that you live with or your children, because who knows if you might have this opportunity again.
Right.
You know, use time right now the way it should be used. You know,
right.
So. You know, we gotta get into your naked truth segment, man. This is getting too good. We don't forget about it. So here in the booth, he gonna give you that naked truth, Mr. Jason Terrell. Yeah.
On this episode of The Naked Truth, we're going to be talking about the coronavirus pandemic and how it's affected millions of Americans and those that selfishly stay outside, even though they know it's affecting other people. Now, for those that are going outside, even though you might not get symptoms because you're young, which is false now because they're finding out young people are dying from it every day, you still need to take others in consideration. You might have grandparents you go to, kids, family, and for some reason now they say animals is getting it. So just be safe, be cautious, and be fair to everybody else, and let's get through this together. All right.
So we back. Hope y'all enjoyed
That Naked Truth.
That Naked Truth. Zamora did.
Yeah.
So y'all gotta this coronavirus, man. Y'all gotta chill on it for real. Stay at home.
In the house.
Protect your family. Protect yourself.
If you don't want to stay in the house, get in the car. Just stay in the car.
Somewhere, man. Don't be out.
I want to go to the gym. I'm trying to work out, okay?
And football season coming up, and I would like to watch my Raiders.
Man, come on, man.
We in Vegas this year, baby. You know, in the stadium. Anyway. But what's up, you bet?
All right. So, have you guys forgiven your dad for not really being in your lives?
Go ahead, big fella.
Short answer, no. Should I? Absolutely. Will I? Maybe.
You need to.
I need to, but when? I don't know. I can't sit here and say it's going to happen. I can't sit here and say when it's going to happen because I don't know. Because in my heart right now,
the only reason why I say need to is this is spiritual.
You know,
because God said, "How do you expect Him to give you your sins if you haven't
forgiven others?" Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't be that thing blocking you from heaven, you know.
So, not about me, Jason.
John, like heaven cold anyway. I like to eat.
Hey, look, I don't like that much heat. Heck no.
I was just playing, bro.
Man.
Me, yeah. When we sat down and had that conversation, when he told me why he never had me live with him, then I understood and I forgave him. But more importantly, I forgave myself later for not going and getting him the last year of his life and moving him with me. So that was really important to me. I forgave myself.
All right. And have you guys learned anything or implied anything to your children from your dad's not really being there?
Yup. My dad used to spend time with me, but I was in horrible situations, so I worked hard so my kids weren't in horrible situations. But now I'm trying to spend more time with them, like my dad did with me, and have a better mind. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay. That's pretty much it. Mm-hmm.
Time. I work a lot, but I try and spend as much time as I can with my child.
Think wink.
I know how important it is for me to be in her life, as a father and as a male figure. So yeah, I gotta give her that time. I'll be dumb to sit here and say, I'll just be repeating history if I sit here and say, time ain't important. I give her everything I got.
Man, destructive cycle.
Yeah.
And I know John has something to say for the men. Do you have anything to say, Jason?
Oh, I just got a fun fact stat for y'all. Well, it ain't really fun. It's kind of horrible. Did y'all know that? All right, so man, hold up. Okay, so the United States makes up 5% of the world. 21% of the United States is incarcerated. Well, 21% The United States represents 21% of the people in the world incarcerated on their own, and they only represent 5% of the entire world.
Yeah.
So in 2014, African Americans represented 34% of the incarcerated people, 2.3 million black men in jail, and 90% of them grew up without a father figure in their life. So out of 2.3 million, that's 200 and something thousand had a father figure. 2.2 million ain't had no they father.
90%?
90%. And 90% of men in jail, period, grew up without a father figure. But the African American race takes up so much of the percentage of men in jail that they got the most.
And we're talking about African American people because that's who we are.
Right.
I can't elaborate on Mexican American or white people or anybody else because I'm a black man.
Funny thing about that, African Americans and Mexican Americans together, Latinos period, they make up 56% of the incarceration. Ridiculous. Black and brown brothers all locked up.
And y'all see how those numbers right there tell you how important it is to have a father figure in your life.
Exactly.
So if you didn't grow up with a father figure and you have a child, break that cycle.
Yeah.
Break that cycle because you see how important it is. Whether you have a daughter, whether you have a son, it is very important to break that cycle.
Exactly. Because 20% of men are missing from their child's life. That's 7 million. That's 7 million people. 7 million people. 7 million men, basically. 20% of the male fathers.
Yeah.
They're missing 7 million dudes. 6% are single fathers. That's
break
two
that
million.
cycle, man. We gotta break that cycle. It's on us. And that's why I wanted this podcast to be the way it is, so we can sit here and tell you our own life stories, and hopefully, you guys can relate to it in some form or fashion to help you break a cycle, to help you change, to help you do better in life. Period.
Right.
So with this father figure one, change the cycle, man. If y'all not in your child's life, break the cycle, man. Simple as that. Do what you gotta do.
Real talk.
So,
be the change you want to see. Be the change you want to see.
Oh, be the change you want to see.
You want to see more fathers in their kids' life? Be in your kid's life. Tell other fathers how I feel. Help them get in their kids' life. Heck, if they going through custody battle, help them work it out with their baby mama. Teach them how you and your baby mama work it out.
Each one teach one. Help your brother out.
We all got to be there for each other.
Yeah. But it's a great episode, man.
That was good.
I told you I was going to cry.
Yeah, I held mine, boy. I'm crying inside. I get in the car, I'm going to shred tears.
Once I talk about my grandma, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Why you think I skipped over mine real quick? Y'all listen to my grandma. But anyway, I had to get off her real quick. I'll be over your floor all night.
Nah, but man, this was a great podcast. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Once again, episode 6, I believe. I'm sorry, 6. But y'all can follow us on Instagram at Oakley_honest_podcast. Facebook and YouTube is the Openly Honest Podcast. On Twitter,
it's O_honest podcast on Twitter. And the email, the openlyhonestpodcast@gmail.com.
Like, subscribe, share on YouTube.
Hit us up with questions, subjects you want us to talk about, whatever you want.
Anything.
If y'all just need to vent or need somebody to talk to,
we got y'all.
Hit us up. Go to our Instagram if you want to send us DMs and you just need somebody to talk to. You need advice. We're here for y'all, man. That's what we're here for.
Send it through the Openly Honest Instagram. DM us. We get back at y'all, man. We ain't gonna sit here and leave y'all on red.
That's what was happening to us with them girls in middle school. They got left on
Get them chirps. Get them chirps.
Getting up on beep, beep.
But now we appreciate y'all for tuning in once again for a great episode. And we be a great father figure.
Man, thank y'all for joining us, man. And always ask yourself,
am I being openly honest?
Peace.
God bless.